So Apex Season 25 brings more changes than you might think, and now that we have early gameplay, let's break down all the gameplay changes in Season 25. So first of all, there's been some adjustments to the existing legend perks. For example, the Assault Legends have been nerfed so that they no longer have the enemy scan ability on shield cracks. Instead, they'll only be able to see the enemy health for 3 seconds. Also, the movement speed buff they get when cracking an enemy will now only apply while they are sprinting, and also for the skirmishers who were just buffed last season have now been brought back down to earth because the skirmisher perks have been tweaked and the legends will no longer get an extra ability charge when knocking enemies. However, they will still receive the 50 health regen, you just won't be able to spam tactical abilities like crazy. We're also seeing the introduction of a brand new gold sniper stock. This can be applied to snipers and marksman weapons and will give you faster reloads, faster handling, and reduction in aim drift, but also it removes the speed penalty while the weapon is drawn. So equipping the gold sniper stock will allow you to run at full speed while holding your sniper. And speaking of weapon changes, the Havoc comes out of the care package and can be found as ground loot. However, it will no longer take the select fire receiver hop up, and it's been brought back down to its base stats. On top of that, the P2020s are getting nerfed with a slight reduction to their magazine capacity, and the Triple Take is going into the care package, now with a huge buff as it has a faster choke time, and it's automatically equipped with the gun shield generator hop up. But the biggest weapon change of all is for the Bocek, and it's confirmed now that the Bocek will come out of the care package and can be found as ground loot. However, it's special in the fact that it still uses arrows. However, arrows aren't a new ammo type that can be found on the floor. Instead, the Bocek will have 40 arrows in its reserve. And while you use this weapon, you can retrieve arrows that you shoot by going and picking them up. And when you kill an enemy using the weapon, their death box will also spawn with arrows on them that you can pick up so you can keep using the Bocek. But the most exciting part is that now the Bocek can be charged up like the Rampage by using a frag grenade. This allows you to shoot a few explosive arrows that after a short amount of time will explode, dealing an extra 25 damage of AoE. Now this can actually damage yourself, so be careful, but of course it can also damage a lot of enemies over a small area. And also, if Ballistic equips the Bocek into his weapon sling, when he uses his ultimate, the Bocek becomes fully charged with explosive arrows. Now, the new Legend Sparrow also gets a unique passive with the Bocek. One of his passive abilities allow him to carry 10 extra ammo for the Bocek, meaning when you pick up a Bocek, he'll have 50 arrows instead of 40, and you'll get 2 extra explosive arrows when you charge up the bow. But on top of that, he also has his double jump passive. And from the gameplay, this is similar to Ash's double jump, except it goes upwards. So it has a short cooldown if you want to just use the double jump by simply pressing jump again while in the air. Now, on top of this, he also gets the wall bounce jump, where when climbing up a wall, you can then do a little jump boost that will launch you up and out from the wall, and this can be used separately to his double jump. So you can climb up a wall, jump boost off of it, and then use your double jump, and if you land on another wall, you can then use the wall bounce again. It's a really awesome passive ability to let you keep up with your team, and also movement players are going to go crazy with this. Next up, we can see his tactical in action, and this is the Tracker Dart. Now, this Tracker Dart can be shot at a pretty long range, and the dart will scan a spherical area around it for enemies that are within line of sight of the dart. So it doesn't work through walls. However, if an enemy is then scanned, you as Sparrow will be able to see them no matter if you have line of sight. Basically, the Tracker Dart itself has to have line of sight. But once you've shot it, I believe it will stay in the world until an enemy walks into it or destroys it. Now, once an enemy walks into its radius, it'll take a few seconds, they'll be tracked, and then you'll be able to see their movements for a short duration, and then the trap will disappear. So it's kind of like a recon caustic trap. On top of that, the Tracker Dart can also be used to scan survey beacons. So instead of actually going up and scanning the survey beacon manually, you can just shoot your tactical within the range of the survey beacon and it will automatically scan it, revealing the map area. Now, for the ultimate, you can shoot the Stinger Bolt. Now, this doesn't have as long of a range as the Tracker Dart, however, it has a much larger radius. And once you shoot this, wherever it lands, it will create a 20-meter radius around it. It will then scan enemies through walls so you can see where everyone is, and then it will shoot 6 electric pulsers, each dealing 20 damage to every enemy in its line of sight. So the damage doesn't work through walls, but if there's line of sight, it will deal damage, meaning it can do up to 120 damage of enemies in this large area. And it will also deal 6 ticks of 100 damage to any equipment. So rampart walls, caustic traps, things like that will all get destroyed. Now, each tick of damage will also slow the enemies within its line of sight, so it really is a giant area denial trap that also scans people in the area. And the Stinger Bolt cannot be destroyed by shooting it. However, it can be destroyed if you shoot it into a Watsonal, or a well-timed Crypto EMP can cancel the ultimate. Now let's look at Sparrow's new perks, because he has some pretty interesting ones. His level 2 perks affect his tactical. The first one, Hunt Target, means Sparrow will get a speed boost when running towards a marked enemy. So if you mark someone with your tracker dart, as you run towards them, you'll get a nice boost of speed, allowing you to engage quickly. Or you can choose the extra traps, where you can gain an additional tactical charge and +2 traps in the world. So without this perk, you're able to have 5 traps existing in the world waiting, but with this perk, you'll be able to have 7 out at a time, and you'll have 4 tactical charges. For the level 3 perks affecting the ultimate, you have Life Siphon, where Sparrow's health and shields will be recovered if enemies are damaged by your ultimate, allowing you to heal, which is a really nice ability. Or the alternate mode, where instead of 1 charge, the ultimate now has 3 charges, but they fire fewer pulses in a smaller radius. So yeah, it really makes the ultimate a lot smaller. It will deal less damage, but you can ping a bunch of them out. So if your first one doesn't hit the right spot, or the enemy moves, you have 2 more charges to follow the enemies with. Honestly, all really good perks. Now, another legend that's receiving some love is Pathfinder. Pathfinder is receiving buffs in Season 25, and we now know that his grapple will now go back to having a variable cooldown. And they've brought his Zipline Zen passive back to where he takes 50% less damage while using his charged zipline. Also, he has a new Evo level 3 upgrade, where you can choose between a second ultimate charge or 2 grapple charges. So Pathfinder's going to feel great again, and he'll be doing it in style with his brand new Heirloom recolor, which is a black and gold variant of his boxing gloves. This also comes with unique animations, including one where he puts on his rain hat from his Stories from the Outlands and the whole screen turns black and white. Anyway, now let's take a deep dive into the brand new rank changes from new ranked rewards, new ranked systems, and how it's going to work. So starting with Season 25, instead of completely resetting your rank, your starting rank will be based on your hidden skill value from seasons of the past. But then moving on to how you can earn ranked rewards, things are getting a little bit different with the introduction of the brand new ranked ladder. This is essentially ranked rumble that will run most weekends in ranked. Here you'll be placed in a leaderboard with 100 players of similar skill to you, and over the course of this weekend, your top 10 ranked games will determine your position on the leaderboard, and this will allow you to earn brand new rewards. Depending on where you place in the leaderboard will determine your reward for that weekend, and it can be things from crafting metals, apex packs, cosmetics, and more. And if you want to earn the brand new skydive trail reward, then you'll have to place in the top 10% of your leaderboard consistently throughout the split. You'll probably have to hit top 10% in a certain number of weekends throughout the split, and then you'll be able to get the reward. And that will give you the skydive trail. Now, it seems there'll be plenty of other rewards at the end of the split as well if you're not hitting top 10%. Let's say you're in tier 2 or tier 3, depending on your performance. But what this means is that we don't have the issue with skydive trails being only for predators or masters, where they're getting targeted in games because of this. Because here, no matter what rank you're in, you have the opportunity to earn the skydive trail as you're placed in a leaderboard with 100 similarly skilled players. So even if you're silver all split, but you're always hitting the top 10% of your leaderboard, you'll get the skydive trail. It sounds pretty interesting and definitely seems like it will add more of a competitive nature to trying to earn those rewards. So we'll have to see if it works out in the end. Now, we also know that arenas will be coming back. However, we don't have any gameplay of this, but this will be kicking off at the start of Season 25. And it's updated with all of the weapons since it was last in the game, including the Akimbo weapons. Healing items are given to you so that you can spend on the more exciting upgrades. And the shop will update depending on which weapons you've already used. It will give you discounts on things you haven't used yet. And instead of the matches lasting for ages, an arenas game will end when one team wins 3 matches. And later in the season, we will get a special 1v1 format of arenas where you'll face off with an enemy and whoever has the most kills after 5 minutes will win. Now, this will be coming much later, potentially even in the second split, but I'm excited. So there we go. Season 25 kicks off with a lot of very interesting changes. What are your thoughts on the new Legend Sparrow? After seeing gameplay of his abilities, the passive itself sells it for me. And I will actually be playing the new season early on Sunday, so let me know in the comments if there's any things you want me to test out when I get early access. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.